The first-generation Titans, also called the Uranides, the Old Order of Gods, or the Elder Titans, were the 12 children of Gaia, the Earth, and Uranus, the Sky, who presided over the universe when it was still very young. At the will of their mother, the Titans overthrew their father, because of his cruel decision to imprison his other children, the Cyclops and the Hecatonkaias, whom he called the Ugly Ones, in the deepest, gloomiest part of Gaia's womb, Tartarus. With Uranus gone, the Titans assumed leadership, presiding over the various manifestations of the universe. They produced more Titan offspring and gods alike, including the Olympians, the most powerful of their children. Years later, the 12 Olympians challenged the Titans for the cosmic throne, defeating them in a great battle, known as the Titanomachy. They were imprisoned and suffered in the depths of Tartarus, while the Olympians gained dominion over the universe, becoming the new order of gods. After a long time of anguish in the abyss, Zeus freed his Titan ancestors, and once more exalted them, by placing them as guardians and protectors of the Elysian fields, a paradise where only those who achieved heroic deeds entered. 1. Oceanus. Oceanus was the bull-horned fish-tailed Titan god of the fresh waters and aquatic life, and the only male Titan who did not join in the war against the Titans and the gods, as he chose not to take any sides. Because of that, Zeus left him undisturbed. Oceanus married his sister Tethys, and populated his watery kingdom with 6,000 children, each one said to be a source of fresh water. His sons were called the Potami, lesser gods of the rivers, while his daughters were called the Oceanids, nymphs of the lakes, springs, and all sorts of fresh water. 2. Coeus. Coeus was one of the 4 brothers, who personified the great pillars that hold the heavens and the earth, and even the entire universe. The same 4, who held Uranus steady, as Cronus castrated him. He was the Titan of the Pillar of the North, while Iapetus, Hyperion and Crius were the East, West and South pillars, respectively. He was also the Titan of oracles and divinations, of curiosity and intelligence. Coeus married his sister, Phoebe, who bore him Asteria, Titan of the stars, and Leto, Titan of modesty. He is known by the Romans with the name Polos. 3. Crius. Crius was the Titan of the South Pillar, the second of the 4 pillars of the universe. Also the Titan of heavenly constellations. Not much role was played by him in the myths, except that he aided in dethroning their father, holding him up firmly in the south, for him to be castrated. Crius married Eurybia, daughter of Pontus and Gaia, and they brought forth Astraeus, the Titan of dusky winds, Pallas, the Titan of warcraft, and Perses, the Titan of destruction. 4. Hyperion. Hyperion, the Watcher from above, and the Pillar of the East, who held Uranus fast in the east, while he was mutilated and dethroned. He was the Titan of light, wisdom, and watchfulness. He consorted with his sister, Theia, and fathered Helios, the sun, Selene, the moon, and Dios, the dawn. 5. Iapetus. Iapetus was the Titan of mortality, craftsmanship, and the Pillar of the West, the last of the 4 pillars, who aided in dethroning their father, and who hold the universe firm. He consorted with the Oceanid, Clymene, and fathered Prometheus, the Titan of forethought, Epimetheus, the Titan of afterthought, Atlas, the Titan of strength, and Mnemosyne, the Titan of violent anger. The sons of Iapetus were said to be the ancestors of humans, and thus passed down their traits to their human descendants. Prometheus taught them cleverness and trickery, Epimetheus passed down stupidity and gullibility, Atlas gave them endurance and patience, and Mnemosyne passed down violence and rash actions. 6. Cronus. Cronus was the god of time, and the youngest of the 12 Titans. When Gaia urged her children to rebel against their tyrannical father, it was only Cronus who showed no fear. Coeus, Crius, Hyperion, and Iapetus later gave their aid, by holding Uranus fast and tight, while Cronus wounded him with the scythe, which became his symbol, thenceforth. With their father dethroned, Cronus became the king and leader of the Titans, becoming even more tyrannical. He married his sister, Rhea, and fathered the 6 Olympians, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. Because Uranus had cursed him, that his children would overthrow him, just as he had done, Cronus swallowed each of his children, as soon as they were born. Only Zeus, the youngest, escaped this fate, as Rhea hid him away, and gave Cronus a stone, wrapped in swaddling clothes, which he swallowed. When Zeus had grown, he gave Cronus a concoction, that made him vomit his other children. Thereafter, the 10-year battle between the Titans and the gods commenced, with Cronus leading the Titans, and Zeus leading the Olympians, along with their allies. The Titanomachy marked the end of the Titans' rule, and the beginning of a new era, the era of the Olympians. 7. Theia. Theia was an oracular and shining Titan, the Titan of bright light, radiance, beauty, and sight. She was the consort of Hyperion, and mother of the sun, Helios, the moon, Selene, and the dawn, Eos. Theia, and the other female Titans, remained neutral, and never partook in the Great War. Thus, they were all left unpunished and in peace, by Zeus. 8. Rhea. Rhea was the Titan of fertility and motherhood, the sister and consort of Cronus, and the mother of the 6 Olympians. To save her last child from being swallowed, she wrapped a stone in baby clothes, and presented it to her husband, tricking him into thinking he was swallowing young Zeus. Rhea retained her place as the mother Titan, and although she never took sides in the Great War, her heart was with her children. 9. Themis. Themis was the Titan goddess of law and justice, the personification of natural law and order, the divine voice, who instructed mankind in the ways of morality, justice, good governance, and conduct. In the aftermath of the Titanomachy, Zeus took Themis as his second wife, and she became his first counselor, seated beside his throne, on Olympus, advising him on the rules of law and of fate. From their union came 2 sets of children, the Horai, goddesses of time and seasons, and the Moirai, goddesses of fate. As the goddess of justice, Themis is usually depicted as wielding a scale in one hand and a sword in the other. She worked hand in hand with another goddess, called Mnemosyne. While she made and passed the laws, Mnemosyne ensured they were followed, punishing anyone who went contrary. 10. Mnemosyne. Mnemosyne, sometimes called Nemi, was the Titan of memory and remembrance, the lesser deity of sight and time, the patron of poets and writers. She is the mother of the 9 Muses, and it is said that Zeus mated with her 9 nights in a row, thus bringing forth 9 children in a row. 11. Phoebe. Phoebe was the oracular Titan of the moon, and the original prophetic goddess of Delphi, a role which she passed on to her grandson, Apollo. She was the consort of her brother, Coeus, and from their union came Asteria, goddess of the stars, and Leto, goddess of modesty. 12. Tethys. Tethys was the Titan goddess of the fresh waters, the consort of Oceanus, the mother of 6,000 river deities, and the patron of nursing mothers. She nursed and raised Hera as her own during the Titanomachy, and so the two remained close ever since. When Hera sought revenge against Callisto for sleeping with Zeus, it was her stepmother's aid she implored. Tethys obliged by cursing Callisto, who had been transformed into a bear constellation, to never fall below the horizon and touch the seas, thus dooming her to forever circle the skies. These are the 12 elder Titans of the Greek myths.